अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मेरा नाम मिसबा है एंड आई एम अ पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट इन साइकोलॉजी। और आज हम जिस चीज़ के बारे में बात करेंगे, इट हैज़ बीन अ डिनर टेबल कॉन्वर्जेशन इन एवरी कश्मीरी हाउस होल्ड फॉर द पास्ट 2.5 weeks now. I am talking about the rising number of suicide cases in Kashmir, especially among the teenagers and adolescents here. Although we are talking about all of this, हम इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में बात तो कर रहे हैं, but the way that we're talking about all of this is not very productive, it's not very helpful. What we need is a very empathetic, a very non-judgmental and solution-oriented approach to tackle the suicide crisis that we're facing today in Kashmir. The only way that we're going to achieve all of this, or in fact any of this, is if we understand how the psyche of someone who is planning on committing suicide works. Why is it that someone with a cell phone would rather record a video of himself telling you the reasons that he's going to kill himself or the way that he's going to kill himself, rather than using that same phone to call a friend, to call a family member, or to call a loved one and seek help or call out for help? The reason for this is because people who have suicidal tendencies or who are planning to commit suicide feel extremely alone in their grief. They feel like there is nobody who can understand them or help them out with their problems, or that if they ask for help or seek help, they're being a burden to the people who are going to help them or who might be able to help them. और कहीं ना कहीं वी एज अ सोसाइटी हमने इस बिलीफ को एम्पावर किया है, हमने इस बिलीफ को स्ट्रेंथन किया है बाय स्टिग्मेटाइजिंग मेंटल हेल्थ, बाय स्टिग्मेटाइजिंग पीपल who are grieving, whose grief we don't consider normal, whose grief we don't consider acceptable. And these people do not know if it is okay to seek help, क्योंकि we've never taught children, or never taught our adolescents or our teenagers to ask for help or seek help when they need it. They've never seen their elders seeking help when they need it, especially in terms of mental health or talking about their own emotions. Instead of talking about our grief, we try to distract ourselves from it. We try to repress it. We don't acknowledge our grief, we don't acknowledge our trauma, we do not accept it, which leads to a mental health crisis, and which eventually is a step towards suicide. People who are planning on committing suicide or who have a suicidal ideation find it extremely difficult to talk about it because they're terrorized of the stigma that surrounds the entire concept. There are certain steps that we can take at our own individual levels that would ensure that the people who need help do get it. The first and the foremost of them would be to educate yourself, your family members, and the people around you about what suicide is, what leads to suicide, and how to identify the signs and symptoms of someone who has a suicidal ideation, so that we could get them adequate and proper help that they need. The second would be to be a safe harbor for someone you think is going through a difficult time. It is not very difficult to lend a helping hand or to lend a shoulder to someone you think is going through difficult times. The next would be, and this is for us as a society, we tend to portray our lives as being perfect. We don't really talk about how everybody goes through dark times. When we talk about only the perfect aspects of our life, we're setting these unrealistic expectations that life can be perfect. However, in reality, it's not perfect for anyone. And when you set these expectations, people shy away from talking about their problems or their difficulties with you. So it's small baby steps towards something which might mean a huge change in the way our society functions. Thank you.